Hello language learners! Let's talk about Chrome extensions. Chrome extensions can be a really helpful tool for language learners to not only work on their languages, but also work on their languages doing things that they're already doing every single day. One of the struggles of learning a new language is changing your habits and doing things in your everyday life that you weren't doing beforehand. Chrome extensions can help us learn languages, study languages without actually changing our habits. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 different Chrome extensions that we can all use for a variety of different languages. Some of them work in like any language you could possibly think of. Some of them only work for specific languages. And as I go through each of the extensions, obviously I'll mention which language that they support and don't support and yada yada yada. The awesome thing about Chrome extensions is that they're all free. So let's dive into these Chrome extensions that I think could be really helpful for a variety of different language learning strategies in different languages. The first extension I'm going to talk about in this video is an extension that I have an entire video walking through right here, so I'm not going to go too in depth, but it is really valuable and so belongs in this video. Language learning with Netflix / language learning with YouTube. They're both very similar. They do the same exact thing, honestly, but they're both used for different websites, Netflix or YouTube. In this video, I'm just going to talk about language learning with Netflix, but in that video, I do go through both language learning with Netflix and YouTube. So if you're looking for more information, definitely watch that video. As you can see, I'm already in Netflix and I am in the kids version of Netflix. I generally recommend you start out with kids shows that are for more older audiences. Definitely have more elevated vocabulary and elevated phrases and speed. So start out with kids stuff. I mean, if it's too easy for you, you can always go up to stuff that you're going to be watching every day in your native language. I'm going to start with Carmen Sandiego because I'm a millennial and I loved Carmen Sandiego. Obviously this is a new show, but let's watch. As you can see from the screen, Carmen Sandiego is available in a ton of different languages. You have all these audio options and all these different subtitle options. If you go into Netflix, you can search for different languages, so you're not, just kind of picking and choosing, especially if you're looking for languages that aren't really available commonly. I'm gonna go with European Spanish with both the language and the subtitles. Okay, so we change the language. You can see on the far right over here, you have the entire transcript of this episode. It's all in Spanish. So let's go ahead and play it.
Creedme cuando os digo que todos recibiréis una gran recompensa por participar.
So right here is basically everything that language learning with Netflix does. You have the entire transcript on the side, you have the current subtitles down below. You can always turn that off, take off the English, put the English back in. I have auto pause selected so that every time it goes through one line of dialogue, it pauses. You can select each of these words, translation not found unfortunately, when, say, saying, that which who, to be, rewarded. So you can really get in your vocab. You can also compare this to the translation if you so desire, or if you want to give yourself a little bit more of a challenge, you could take the English off. But this is a really handy way to go through shows that are, either at your level or a little bit above your level to get a new vocabulary, work your listening comprehension, all that kind of stuff. It's a really handy tool. And like I said, I spend a lot more time going through this Chrome extension and the one for YouTube. Link below in the description to watch that video. Speaking of YouTube, the next Chrome extension I want to talk about is specifically for YouTube. It's actually a Chrome extension by the creator of another language learning product that I'm not really going to talk about here, but it's from Caption Pop. Now I have a link below in the description for my review of Caption Pop. Basically in that review I do say that I think language learning with YouTube is a lot more handy source. However, the guy behind Caption Pop is really awesome and took a look at my review and took the constructive criticism and came up with this Chrome extension that I think is really awesome. So right here, I have just a really simple YouTube search for language learning, nothing in particular. But here you see in each video, underneath the title and the creator's name and above the description, you have a list of subtitles. So for Lindy Bodas here, you have English, French, Portuguese, Serbian, Spanish. You scroll down You have this TED Talk has a bunch more. This video has no available subtitles, so this is really, really helpful for not only working on your language and seeing what YouTube videos you have available to you to practice, but it also shows you which creators make their videos more accessible to those who speak other languages, which is a really cool thing to think about. I personally think we should definitely reward those who provide subtitles for all these different languages if they're able to. It really makes YouTube that much more accessible. That's pretty much all this Chrome extension does. It doesn't really give you any other options when you click the video or anything, but I really like seeing at a glance what languages are available, what subtitles are available. And I don't know about you, but even with videos that I'm watching in English, I still really like subtitles. I want to eat, and eating is loud in my brain, so I just want to be able to read what it is that I'm watching sometimes, you know? This Chrome extension that I'm about to talk about is called Toucan. Toucan is really fun, and I'm going to show you why. So as you can see from this Duolingo review, which is newly updated, and that's the only reason why I'm showing it to you, because I'm super, super proud of it. Link below in the description for a lot of really helpful tips on Duolingo. Y'all, I slaved away with this blog post. It is worth it. As you see, you know, my blog post is in English, as all my blog posts are. But as you'll see, there are a few words here and there that are highlighted in blue and then translated into French, because I currently have my Toucan extension in French. You go through, you see la langue. Oh my god, don't ask me to pronounce French right now. But you mouse over this, you get the translation in English. You can hear it.
La langue.
La langue. By doing this, Toucan helps you to pick up new vocabulary as you browse the internet as you already are. These are really simple words. I already know how to say language in French. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to say checkmark. I already know this word. Yay! Cute little animation, and it switches back to English. In doing this, you can use Toucan to improve your vocabulary. Every word that you go on the internet until you turn off the extension, or until you whitelist, blacklist, whatever, the one where you turn it off on certain websites. Unless you do that, this will show up on every single website, which is awesome because it means that as you're already looking at blog posts, looking at news articles, you know, doing research online, all sorts of stuff, Toucan will go in and just throw words in every once in a while so you can pick them up in context, which is the most important way to get in vocabulary. I go more in depth about the concept of learning vocabulary in context in a link below in my description box, but basically this is an incredibly helpful way to get in new vocab. And theoretically, as you go on through and you say, oh, okay, I know this word, yay! It'll highlight and translate more and more advanced words as you go. At the moment, Toucan is only available in a few languages. Those languages are Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, German, or French. But they are working on adding a bunch of languages, so I do recommend you keeping your eyes open for Toucan if you're not studying one of those languages. Next we have StudyLib. Now StudyLib does a few things, and it's important to know that StudyLib isn't specific to language learning, so it's not limited to however many languages it offers. StudyLib, kind of like Anki, is really great for like any subject that you're using because it kind of functions as a digital flashcard deck. Let me back up. So with the StudyLib Chrome extension turned on, you can go through any web page. We're going to stick to this blog post because why not? And I'm going to highlight this word, study. See this little icon that shows up? This is the StudyLib icon. I click that. It took this word, study, and it translates into French because I have it selected as French. There's a couple different conjugations, there's a couple different synonyms, stuff like that. And I could go into a French article or French web page and do this opposite. I could highlight a French word and translate it to English. I can also go in here. I want to see how to say it in Chinese. That's how I say it in Chinese. I don't know any Chinese. And then once you've found a word that you want to study more, right here where it says create a new set, you can create yourself a flashcard set. So you can collect all the words that you've picked up from all over the web, all over wherever you're reading. You can put them together in a flashcard set, and you can go on to StudyLib and you can study them. Or StudyLib has one more thing up its sleeve. StudyLib actually has two Chrome extensions. This is the first Chrome extension. There's a whole other Chrome extension that works off of that. StudyLib's second Chrome extension does this thing where it takes the vocabulary that you find from all over the web and gives you more opportunity to study them. Let me give you an example. Let's see, we open up a new tab as one does. we have a page. I have already loaded a flashcard set into StudyLib, so one that I found on StudyLib. I did not create this one myself. This is just basic French words that I use as an example. I've also been using this extension a little bit, so I have a little bit of a history with it. There are a couple options from what I've seen. Before, when I was using this StudyLib extension, it was giving me this word, a book, and it was giving me, like, I believe 4 or 5 different options to select which one is book in French. Now, it's making it a little bit more difficult, I see. So it says a book. I know the book is livre in French, so show answer.
A book.
Un livre.
Un livre, and it gives you the audio. You can turn off the audio if you're listening to music or you're at work or something and you don't want the audio because this plays automatically. Unless you turn that off, you can totally turn it off. No worries. I already knew that word, so
A student.
gives me the next word. I already know this one.
A student.
Un étudiant, E.
The audio is not good. That was pretty bad. It didn't really understand that it was doing the masculine / feminine at the same time. In the settings, you can set how many flashcards you're going through each time you open up a new tab. But every time you open up a new tab, unless you turn this off, you're going to get these flashcards that you found from all over the web. So it's a really, really, really helpful way to get that vocab into your brain without you having to commit 10 minutes, 15 minutes outside of the things that you're already doing during the day. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the other version of these flashcard tests that I was using before, where it gives me 4 different options. Which one's a book? I know it's this one.
A student.
La grammaire.
All right, congratulations, you may continue browsing. And from here, you can go straight onto Google or whatever bookmarks you have. The one complaint I do have with this extension, and I've already contacted StudyLib about it, and they said that they are planning to update it. This might have changed by the time you're seeing this video. If you go through here, it's gonna go through Google, which is great. I like to use Ecosia. If you don't know what Ecosia is, as you do Google searches on Ecosia, you earn points. When you earn a certain number of points, it's like 45 points or something like that. They plant a tree, so I really like to do that. But I can always just go up here and it does the same thing. So that is StudyLib. Again, that is 2 different Chrome extensions. You don't have to use both of them. You can use just one of them if that's more your thing. But they are both really, really helpful ways to submit new vocabulary into your brain. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about ReadLink. Now, ReadLink I've talked about before, but I haven't talked about the Chrome extension because I didn't necessarily realize there was a Chrome extension, I don't think. ReadLink is a really helpful tool in general for getting articles or documents or stories or any kind of thing that are written in the language that you're learning. Take them, you put them into ReadLink, which is a free website, and as you go through, you can click each individual word or phrase to have them translated. Then you can collect those words into a deck on ReadLink, or you can do it on StudyLib, or you can do it on Anki. Any number of resources for digital flashcards that you like best. They're based on reading level from A1 to C2, all sorts of stuff. ReadLink is super, super helpful and I love it. It's a great resource. With a ReadLink extension, it takes a whole step out of the process. So with ReadLink, you take an article, you take a text from the internet, you put it into ReadLink, you go onto the ReadLink website, you upload it to your account, and you can go through and you can click words, translate them as you go. With the ReadLink extension, you don't have to put it into your ReadLink account. You can go through the internet and activate the extension, it automatically translates. So let me show you what I mean. So here I have an article open from El País, which is a Spanish newspaper. This is all in Spanish. It's a newspaper, so it's fairly advanced. So let's go to this word. See how I go through the words and it highlights in like this tealish color? Let's click this. It translates it into English. This is the same exact thing that it does on the ReadLink website. However, with this, you don't have to go into the website. You can do it right in the browser. Now from right here, you can't take words and put them directly into ReadLink because that's not really how ReadLink works. ReadLink works more with, whole texts. But if you turn off the ReadLink extension, you can use StudyLib to put it into your StudyLib deck. Or if you go to the upper right where I have this little bar for the ReadLink extensions, you open the menu. What's this? Import to ReadLink. And there you go. You have this article in ReadLink. You can open in ReadLink right here. And voila, it's already in ReadLink. So you can take these words and translate them as you go. See, really, really handy for finding articles or texts in the language that you're learning and learning how to read them. It's really, really handy. It's, you learn to read languages. That's why it's called ReadLink. Who knew it? Now, ReadLink is available in like 1.5 million languages. Unless your target language is a specifically difficult language to find, not a very common one, or it's a language that's disappearing, you might not be able to use ReadLink. But other than that, like literally any language you could possibly think of is on ReadLink. So those are my Chrome extension recommendations for you to work on your foreign language skills. Most of them are available in pretty much any language you could possibly find content in. The only one that isn't is Toucan, but Toucan is also working on adding more languages to the list. So like I said, keep a lookout for these languages. If you have any other Chrome extensions to share that are helpful for language learners, please leave them in the comment section below. I would love to check them out. Otherwise, I will see you every single Monday at my blog at crashculture.com and every single Wednesday and Sunday right here on YouTube. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.